Here we go. Are we ready?
Ready, set, go.
Hi, everybody. This is so strange.
All the cords and all the things.
All the equipment, it's just everything feels weird. Y'all like the unedited version? Okay, Here we go. What microphone are you on? Number 3. Okay, Angela. Coming in hot on a Saturday morning for a Monday release.
Mm-hmm. It's March.
Oh my God, it is. Hallelujah.
Isn't that crazy?
February was so horribly long for a short month. Why was it so long?
I don't know, but next weekend is daylight savings time.
Is it really?
And it gets better. 8 p.m. sunsets are coming.
Oh my God.
We have made it. There are buttercups blooming. Nothing says spring to me like little yellow buttercups.
Absolutely. And at the same time, you're just like, you're kind of nervous for them. And you're like, please, little precious buttercup, hang on. I don't want to freeze to kill you.
Yesterday, Carl sent us a group text for bird watchers.
Listen, it's coming, y'all. I'm just waiting for, I don't want to do it when there's potential for cold weather still. I want to know that we're in the clear for spring. And then I'm going to get my bird feeder. Y'all remember that? I'm getting my bird feeder.
And in West Tennessee, that's probably May to know that we're in the clear.
Right.
Because one year it snowed on April 13th.
Oh, I remember.
Yeah.
One year I had the flu on April 15th. So
weird.
Yeah.
But Carl sent us a picture yesterday. Our little purple martins, 2 of them have already arrived. But their faces were hysterical. If you could imagine an angry bird, like they looked frustrated, confused, frozen. They were sitting in their little house with a face that, it's like you could read their thoughts of what is happening.
Yeah, what is happening. I can tell you right here, right now. Can you describe that type of bird feeder to the people that maybe don't know, can't visualize that bird feeder? Because I'm going to tell you right here, right now, that bird feeder I would not put in my yard.
The one that was in the picture?
The one that was in the picture.
It's a purple martin house. It's like up on a pole.
Yes, so y'all can visualize.
Way up in the air. And he bought a second one because they return every year. So like they go down, and I'm not prepared to talk about this, but I think they go down to like South America, and then they come back to the same spot.
How do they know?
Exactly.
How do they know?
Exactly. So we like name them and pretend like, hey, Leroy's back. And
yeah.
Well,
it's funny, how we've talked about cream corn and like old people things. That type of birdhouse, that's what old people had in their yard.
Serious.
It is serious.
It's the little traditional white house up on a pole with multiple little holes for the birds to go in and congregate. It's like a little birdie apartment.
It's a party.
It's a party in a box is what it is. So stay tuned for bird updates.
I cannot wait to share that with you all because it's going to literally be like,
what are we doing?
I don't know what I'm doing, and I'm going to somehow make a video of me going to get the bird feeder, not the free feeder because I've got that in my cart on Amazon, but the food and like setting it up, and I don't know what the same heck I'm doing, and it's just a dang bird house. Like it's not even anything complicated.
We should go to Tractor Supply together.
Oh yes, we should. We should do that. No, I've never been.
We should go together
on a Saturday. We'll do that.
We're farmers, so I even have the card where I don't have to pay sales tax.
Oh,
because I'm exempt.
Ding 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 ding! Everybody,
isn't that funny?
I cannot wait for this. I really can't.
I don't know why that reminded me of this, but my little nephew left this morning to go on a weekend survival camp weekend with Boy Scouts.
Oh.
Imagine a middle schooler in the woods, and all they could take with them is what would fit inside an Altoid box.
I'm sorry, what?
But he is so clever. He also stuck a bottle of Pepto-Bismol in his pocket, just in case.
I'm sorry, what?
So I asked my sister, I was like, what do you fit in an Altoid box? And it was everything from a whistle, a compass, a fire starter, a safety pin, dental floss. She couldn't remember why, but I almost like had a panic attack thinking, what if I could only live off of what's in an Altoid box?
I'm not living, I'm dying. No. I don't know what to do with any of those things.
Will my cell phone fit inside that box so I can call for help?
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
I know.
I'm so proud of him.
I know. So we'll have to check with him when he gets back.
And this is for a weekend? or just
It
to.
might just be overnight. But
I don't care. One night is
you're
a
in
lot.
the woods
Ah.
with nothing else other than, and you could, if you had it on your body, it didn't count. So she said he
Okay,
put on like
yeah.
12 layers of
I
clothes.
was gonna say,
Mm-hmm.
and
He's such a fun kid.
but they're gonna have tents and.
I hope so.
Okay.
I need to go check on him. Emmett,
Oh my gosh.
you're in our thoughts and prayers.
For
He'll
real.
be fine. Pray for the leaders.
How old is he? What age are we talking about?
Middle school.
Okay.
Yeah, so much fun.
Okay.
That's
yeah,
every boy's dream. They don't have to bathe. Like
Oh.
they love that.
Mm,
They love that.
God bless them all.
Okay, so something I've learned about myself this past week is not breaking news, but
Let me guess. Can I guess? Oh, well, this could be several things, but immediately, every time, the first thing that's always going to come to my mind is that I've got to be in Dyersburg in 10 minutes, and I'm just now hopping in the shower.
Well, that was yesterday.
Okay.
Go back a week from right now.
Okay, I don't know.
Yeah, you do, because you helped me through this. Okay, my word for the year was dependent. I cannot tell y'all how many times the Lord has reminded me I'm not as independent as I think I am. I bragged multiple times to the men in my house that I don't get sick like they do because I take zinc and I take vitamin C and I'm healthy and strong.
I just rolled my eyes.
Y'all, I got so humbled. I got so sick.
Yes, you did.
That I had to cancel a trial. I don't know the last time I've canceled court. I was so sick. And Fran, you were so good about saying things. And I said, we probably need to say this on the podcast because I hope I'm not alone. I hope somebody else can actually relate to this and not leave me out here stranded. But it's hard to be patient. Well, period. That's a sentence.
Yeah,
it's
period.
hard to be patient.
Yes, period.
But it was so hard for me to, as I started feeling better, remind myself, I'm 47 years old. My body needs a little extra time. I'm not Superwoman. I need to pull back and not go full throttle.
Yeah.
And wind up feeling worse.
Well, and my mom used to say, and still does, but I can remember in my 30s and 40s, because even in your 30s and 40s, we are youthful, but we're not youthful.
It's humbling.
And my mom used to always say to me, and again, I don't know, I think I was very arrogant and just, I'm never, nothing ever's going to happen to me. I'm just, can keep plowing through everything. But she would constantly say, make sure you're getting enough rest. And I would just roll my eyes and be like, rest? Why does my body need rest? Like, it's going to be fine. And it's so true, though.
I know. Listen.
Your body needs to, stop and recover. And, when you're so used to going 196 miles per hour on a daily basis, and again, rest looks different for everybody when they're sick, but still, figuring out how to, just not lay on the couch for 7 days, because there's still things that you've got to get done, but you just feel so guilty, and but at the same time, you're like, but I know I need this, and it's just hard. It's hard for mamas. It's hard for females. It's hard for working females to get sick. There ain't no time for it on the calendar.
There's not. And then I would get, I started January 1st in this accountability group. So I would get texts here and there from my coach just saying, hey, just checking on you.
For your workout.
For my workouts, yeah. Just to make sure that, because at some point it's like, am I just falling off the wagon, or am I just still needing rest? And then
that's a
it's
fine
at
line.
what point am I becoming lazy or just not getting back in, or do I really still need a few days? So I just told her, I said, I had decided I will give myself until Monday and ease back into it, because we're doing some pretty crazy intense things. But
and that's going to be brutal. Coming back
will.
a week off, it's like when you go to vacation and you're like, you're just starting over. And it's terrible. It's so humbling, all of it.
But I'm jumping back in.
We're not Superwoman.
But here's what I have been really super good at this past week.
Okay.
Eating
Junk.
all the junk that I have not eaten since January 1st. Y'all, when you're sick, what do you crave for comfort food? Like when I got past the point of soup.
Yeah, right.
And just got hungry.
Right.
Think about those comfort foods that you're like, I just want.
Oh, I want something. I either am going to make chocolate chip cookies or brownies every time.
So good. I did not do that. I should have.
Every time. And I don't know why.
You know what else?
Some kind of sugar, some kind of chocolate.
And you've told me this before, and this is one of mine too, chicken fried rice.
Oh
with
gosh.
yum yum sauce.
Oh gosh, yes.
Is there anything better than that?
No.
When you don't feel well, it just it checks all the boxes.
It's because it's heavy and it's carby
and it's warm.
and it's warm
And it's yum yum sauce.
and yum yum. Who the heck knows what yum yum sauce is?
Who
But
knows?
it is. Oh, that's divine.
So last night we have eaten out at more places the last few nights, because when I finally came out of this reclusive sickness state, it was like, well, now, you know, we've got ball games and we've got all these things. So last night we were back to that point of, I've eaten out so much nothing sounds good.
Yeah.
Which is when you know, like, it's time to
yeah.
go home and cook a meal because we've eaten out entirely too much. But I started craving someplace that and I'm not going to say the name of this place, but if you're local, you'll probably know. It's not in the best part of town anymore. And
You're not going to tell us? You're going to have to like whisper it to me.
okay.
Because I need to know what we're
And
talking
I'm not
about.
going to say anything bad about it.
Okay.
Other than the fact that I kind of regret going there this morning, but it's not
no.
because they're bad. Just everything I ate was so bad.
You weren't ready for it.
So I'll just say it was Catfish Galley.
Okay.
Across from the mall.
Yeah. Wait. Oh, the one by the mall.
And then I felt like I was cheating on Lydia because she works at Catfish Cabin, but for time restraints,
Yeah,
we couldn't make it out that far, and that is the best place to go.
Yeah. I've
But-
never been in. I think I've been in Catfish Galley. That's it's a blue building,
It is.
and I think I've been in there one time in the 24 years that we've lived in Jackson.
It is a hole in the wall. It is. Carl and I started dating in 1992, and it has not changed one bit. And this morning I said, I don't even know that they're using different grease. They might still have the same grease from 1992, because this morning we had a whole lot of regret.
Does it have like a vinyl, that kind of kind of tablecloth?
The red plastic cups.
Yes.
The hush puppies come out in the little red plastic basket.
Oh yes.
They had, oh my goodness. You know, I was trying really hard.
It gives me chills right now.
I was trying really hard to not be on my phone. So I put my phone in my purse and just let my mind wander. And y'all, the people watching there is
incredible.
divine.
Incredible. Better than an
Divine.
airport.
It's this, you know, the wood paneling walls, the dimly lit, like the frosted glass and like the scallop pattern on the little lighting sconces, the plastic flowers,
Love it.
the weird old music, the old fire crackling in the fireplace. And
is that family owned? Like the same people have owned it, or no? You don't know.
probably, I really don't know. They had Wheel of Fortune on the
Oh
TV.
God, this is so great.
But it was muted, and they were playing 80s country music.
Oh, this is so great.
It literally, Carl and I got so tickled because it was like we are back in the 90s on a date night, because we didn't have our kids with us. It was just like a total throwback. So I'm just looking around, and I'm seeing it's all this nautical themed stuff. And then my eyes land on this shelf in the corner, almost to the ceiling. I'll have to put a picture. I took a picture.
Oh.
We'll have to put this in stories because you've got to see this. But I look up, and there's this weird little cat, like sitting on this shelf almost to the ceiling, and I cannot figure out how he fits in with the Nautilus thing.
What size cat are we talking about?
I don't know.
Like
8 inches, just like this little cat.
Not like
sitting there.
something that's been taxidermied or something.
No, not a real cat. But I said, Carl, why is there a cat in the corner? And he turned around and he said, I thought you meant a real cat. And I had flashbacks to the last time I ate at, I won't say the name of this place, but there was a Chinese place out south. And one time we went in there to eat, and we literally heard a cat crying, and we turned around and left.
Yeah.
And he said, I thought they were, anyway. So there's this cat in the corner, really strange. And then we get up to the cash register, and they have this bowl of peppermints. You know, and normally it's take a peppermint.
Yeah.
It said only 3 free mints with meal, additional 5 cents.
Oh, stop. This is so
Just got
fantastic.
so tickled. And he said, I need you to take a picture of that. So I made a little picture of that. But here,
I need one, please, for 5 cents.
oh my gosh.
Here's
and
4 pennies. That's all I have. Will that work?
You get 3 free. But the catfish and the hush puppies and the fried okra
It's
and,
so good.
and the baked potato
It's
just
so
slathered
good.
in all
But
the
it's
things.
awful.
It was so good, but it sits so heavy. But y'all, the main attraction, the thing that we talked about on the way there, as we're walking in the door, all the way home, there is a waitress who has been there. She was there last night. She's been there over 30 years. We
You're
heard
kidding.
her say that to a couple. And we call her by a nickname that we have given her. We call her Thank You.
Okay.
in a southern drawl.
Okay, because that's
Thank
what.
you.
Thank you. That's what she does.
Because literally, from the time every table she walks past, she is thanking them for something at every pass. It's thank you for your order, thank you for being here, thank you for. I heard her say thank you for letting me wait on y'all. I mean, just to the point that you're just like, it just makes you smile. And I thought, what a sweet little legacy. But I heard somebody ask her how long she'd been there, and she said 30 years.
Good gosh.
30 years.
That's incredible.
So anyway, be like Miss Thank You.
Thank you, for real.
But it was cool to think, all the way there, as we're there, it's like seeing a celebrity. Like, she's the one that keeps us.
Maybe
talking.
she's Miss Catfish Galley.
She should be. She needs a tiara.
She does. And
For
a little
real.
sash ribbon.
For real. Okay, so that was last night. What else what's going on with you the past little bit?
Y'all, I don't know, Angela. This week, well, because you were sick, y'all know that Angela and I meet with the volleyball team on Wednesday night, so I had to do that by myself. And it's so weird because I don't know why I feel so, not insecure, that maybe just a little anxious when you're not there, because you've been with, not necessarily like, you've just been with the volleyball program for a long time. And so it just feels still kind of strange. Like, I say it out loud to the girls every week. Like, I'm still trying to find my place here and just make sure that I'm not, sometimes it can feel like you're intruding on something that's so private and sweet. And you're like, I don't want to disrupt what you have here. So, but I did it. I was really proud of myself, only because literally that morning I had typed up some bullet point notes. Otherwise, if I did not have those bullet point notes, I would have said to you, oh no, we'll just cancel, because I'm just still trying to find my place there. So that was Wednesday night. And then Tuesday night I had Bible study with this, doing that at church. Anyway, there was a lot going on this week. Long Tuesdays, y'all know.
Activity.
A lot of activity. Anyway, went to a girls' basketball game. Just lots going on. But by last night, I was like, I am so tired. But I slept super hard, and today I'm like, okay, here we go, everybody.
And all the sunshine's supposed to be coming in the next few days.
I hope so. I see little Bradford pears with some bloomage on them.
They are triggering some allergies.
I mean, and it
beautiful.
It feels early, but anyway.
Have you watched American Idol?
Not yet. No,
so
I
good this
haven't.
season.
I haven't had a chance.
You will. You'll get caught up. But they if y'all have not watched it yet, the stories, the way I think they have to up their game with, shows that have been on for so long and keep your interest. But the way they're telling these stories is just,
I love that. I love that. Is Katy Perry still a judge, or?
She is.
Okay.
She is. And then the other thing I love about March is March Madness. We need to make a bracket.
Yeah. Oh, listen. Yeah. I'd have to have Dylan do it for me.
Well,
that wouldn't be fair, though. That'd be cheating.
I told my kids, my dad loved all sports, but he always really got into March Madness. And the day they announced the bracket, or like the selection, I'm not saying all the terminology because I'm clearly not an expert on this, but March 17th is a Sunday. It's St. Patrick's Day.
I was going to say, that sounds like St. Patrick's Day.
It's also the anniversary of his death, and I thought, what a sweet way to remember him. So I told everybody in my house, and I gave them a dollar amount. I said, I'm going to give a prize to the winner, because they have to have some skin in, my skin's in the game. Theirs is not.
Right.
They need some incentive to want to do this. So I said, we're all going to do a bracket.
I love that.
And see who wins. And that's like such a sweet, fun way to remember him. But that could be something fun. If you're listening and you have older kids, or especially boys, where we're trying to figure out how to stay relevant and have conversation with them, that could be a fun way.
That could be fun. Speaking of basketball, Clay and I went to the Grizzlies game, I don't know, a week or so ago. And we had bought really good seats, like lower level seats. And, with that, I hope I can paint this picture halfway correctly. So if you see, like, if you can envision the arena and the lower level seats, like, we were just 7 up from being courtside.
Whoa.
Floor seats. And so underneath all those bleachers, there's a lot of stuff happening underneath those bleachers. And so we had access to that. It'd be kind of like saying you've got backstage passes, but anyway, so underneath there, I was just like, oh my God, there's so much going on. Like, their locker rooms are back there, but there's also like a restaurant that if you have floor seats, then you have access. We weren't on the floor, so we didn't have access to that. But there's a whole restaurant situation going on under there. But we also had access to, there was this area where you could, there was a food and drink area and all these tables set up, and you can watch the team come out and do their little pre-game, whatever it is they do before they run out onto the court. And
this is so exciting.
it was so fun.
I've always been up high.
Yeah, it was so fun. I told Clay, I was like, it's going to be really hard to not do that every time. So anyway, that was really super cool because I love, anything in the athletic world that you get kind of sneak peeks into, and just watching security, watching all the things. And like, one lady walked by and I said to Clay, I said, oh, she's got to be somebody. I can just tell by looking at her. And he said, I'm pretty sure that's John Morant's mom. And so you just kind of like, you're like also just thinking, I know, I have an idea of how much season tickets on courtside cost in the thousands upon thousands upon thousands upon thousands. And when you're watching those people come out of that little restaurant bar area that only they have access to, I'm like, I just so badly want to know, who are you?
We need to know your story.
I need to know. I've got some questions for you.
You should just interview them.
Oh, I thought about it.
We should make you some credentials to put around your neck.
I totally thought about it. And I kept like in the back of my mind trying to figure out, how could I do this without being so weird? But anyway.
Oh my gosh. Well, I accidentally signed up for the last minute. I don't know what I thought I was signing up for. I think just like information about Grizzlies tickets, or we had bought them or whatever. But I get these texts now, and they've got those last minute deals, and sometimes the prices are like 70% off.
Yeah.
Well,
because they're not great. They're riddled with injury right now, and so that just is what it is.
They almost win that game.
We had a great game. It was a lot of fun, and those guys are, when you're down low like that, they are so big. I just think, oh my gosh, you're massive. But
I love that.
Anyway, I love doing that with him. And Clay's moving to Chicago in a couple of weeks.
Have we talked about that on the podcast?
I don't think so, but he's moving.
He's your travel buddy.
He's
we need to talk about this.
So he's the kid. He's my oldest. He always, he's the one that I'm always going to New York with. But he is moving to Chicago 2 weeks from today, and I'm not going to be able to be a part of that because I'm coming back from leading a mission trip through Union. So that's fine. It's fine. But anyway, he's gotten a job with United Airlines on the business side of the airline. So he's super excited. That's, he's wanted to get into something like this. So he did it, and he moves to Chicago. So there's that.
I'm so proud of Clay. What an adventure.
Yeah.
Lots of flights in your future.
Well, I said to him, it made me think about, just him being in Memphis and loving the Grizzlies and stuff. And I'm like, well, does this mean that you become a Bulls fan? And he was quick to say, no. And I'm like, do we become Cubs fan now? And they're like, no.
No, absolutely not.
Because we're huge Braves fan. But we have looked to see when the Braves and the White Sox play this summer at some point. So anyway, anyway.
Oh, what a great city.
Yeah, I know. I'm going to become a Chicago fan. I mean, like the city. Somebody said to me, a girl that I work with that travels a lot, she's been to New York several times. She said Chicago is like New York on a smaller scale. So you can get your time wrapped around it a little bit better. You can get your mind and your arms wrapped around it a little bit better because it's not so massive. But I did say to Clay, I was like, we're still going to go to New York, aren't we, at some point? So
I've not been to Chicago since junior high on a church trip.
Oh, hello.
And you know what's funny? This is super random. Abby Porter's mama was on that trip with me.
Oh, wow.
That's how long we've known each other.
Oh, wow. That's fun.
Probably in the 9th grade.
Oh, that's so fun.
But we loved Chicago. I can remember walking by whichever one of the Great Lakes is right there, thinking, it's huge and frigid.
Yeah, right.
I don't know what I expected.
I know.
I think I thought all the water just looked like the ocean, really warm and like Destin. It's not. There's a whole big world.
There's a whole big world right outside of Jackson, Tennessee. Go figure.
Okay, so our last podcast was with Dr. Dove.
Yes, y'all. Haven't y'all been so... I have personally had conversations with people because of just... I work at Union, so people have listened to it, but
So
that
much
one-
feedback.
that
from
one
listeners.
that was a hot topic for
Mhm.
sure.
What are you hearing?
Everybody is just, they want to take the notifications off their phone. There's fear
Mhm.
there, and we all get that, but I think it's just, it goes back to the principle of what is most deserving of your time and attention. Is it your phone, or is it the people and the work and the, that's what's in front of you?
Mhm.
And we are very much ruled by our phone, and in a way that is not always just checking text messages and emails and social media. It can be like helpful because you think you're getting work done, but it can also be the biggest distraction, and it just keeps you from being disciplined and focused. And so people love it, but it's a little scary to say, I'm going to turn off all notifications. And I can't tell you how many times this week I said, just start with social media. That's what we've done. That's all we've done. And I cannot tell you how great it has been to not, like, I forget to go to Instagram. Like, I don't go to Facebook as much. That's just like a really quick glance, whatever first appears on my feed, and then I move on. But to like not go to Instagram, I'm like, oh my God, the whole day's gone by. Look at me. And I'm so proud of myself.
Go, Fran.
Mm-hmm.
If I'd been on my phone at Catfish Galley, I would have missed that cat in the corner.
Yes, you would have.
We need to give our brains time to just wander
Yeah.
and be bored for a minute.
Yeah.
And be curious.
So that's been a lot of fun to talk
Mhm.
to people about. But also, we're not going to announce the book yet, but we
We're
are.
not?
Well, we can.
I think we need to
okay.
talk about it.
We are going to do a book club, y'all. That also,
Colloquium.
I'm never going to call it that.
Colloquium. Sounds
Colloquium.
colloquium.
Okay.
Am I saying that right?
I don't know.
Mhm. Okay.
But that also came out of the podcast with Dr. Dub,
Mhm.
and so
Let's talk about the progression of how we landed on what we landed on.
okay, you start, because I'm like, how did that
I
happen?
know. What happened? What happened even? So, Dr. Dub has been such an encourager of, y'all can do this.
Yeah.
Like, you're already doing it. Just do
And
it.
listen, let me just say the power of that.
Mhm.
Because I'm telling you right here, right now, Dr. Dub, if you're listening to this, if you would not have said that, I feel like in some way where he's holding us accountable to it, and he'll ask us later, like, hey, what book are y'all doing? Or how's the book club going? Or what have you learned? And so there's real power in just encouraging somebody to do it, because if it's somebody that you trust and you look up to, then in some weird way, I feel like I can't let you down. I want to do this.
And he knows us well enough to where we think, okay, if he thinks we can do this, knowing
That's
what he
right.
knows about us, then
That's
we can
right.
do this.
If he believes in us, knowing
In
us.
spite of knowing us,
Mhm.
he believes in us.
And so it's just, there's real power in
Mhm.
encouraging people when they say something to
Mhm.
you.
Call them up.
Yes, call them up. Don't call them out. Call
Mhm.
people up all the time. And so that, as I just reflected on kind of like the logistical side, because my brain immediately went to, how is this going to, what are we going to do?
Mhm.
Is this separate from the podcast? Is this
Mhm.
part of the podcast? I just began to kind of live in that space, and then wasn't really thinking about the book. He gave us some great book recommendations.
He did.
And I love every single one of them. I think I said in that episode, like, I think I've read all of them, maybe but
Mhm.
one. But anyway, so just, I was reading, no, the If Gathering came
Mhm.
out. Jenny Allen,
Mhm.
that whole If Gathering.
And let's just pause and say, for people not aware of this, we've talked about this before, but at the very beginning of our friendship,
Yeah.
you had gone to the very first If Gathering live in Austin.
Mm-hmm.
I had hosted an If Local at our
Mhm.
barn. It was one of the very first things we ever did at our barn 10 years ago. And then you and I were able to talk about, hey, we've got this common experience. And
Yeah.
that just kind of fueled.
Yeah.
So the If Gathering is so special to
Yeah.
us. And Jenny Allen is the
Yes.
founder of that.
Yes. Huge fan of what she's, just who she is as a person, her honesty, and how she shares her story and her
Mhm.
family with us.
And Get Out of Your Head.
Yes.
We did a Bible study.
Mm-hmm.
And we've done that with the volleyball
Mm-hmm.
team.
Mm-hmm. And so at If Gathering, at the same time or around that same time, she was releasing a book that I've already forgotten the name of, Angela.
I'm prepared. You finish all these wonderful words you're about to say, and then I'll fill in some gaps.
It has something to do with untangling your emotions.
Mhm.
Is that the name
That's
of
the
it?
name of it.
Okay.
You go, girl. Mhm.
And so I had pulled up Spotify to listen to our episode with Dr. Dove, because we do go back and listen to our episodes just to learn, to make sure that we don't sound absolutely ridiculous, and
to see how it lands.
Yeah,
and how
yeah.
we need to follow up.
Yeah,
and
for
make sure we're serving y'all well.
for sure. And so somehow in that, I was also I flipped over to the book section by accident, and there was her entire book on. I could listen to it, so I immediately started listening to it. And I'm only 3 chapters in, and it is her voice reading it, which makes it so much better.
Mm-hmm.
And I just immediately sent Angela Boxer and was like, this is what we're doing. This is the book we're doing, because this is who we are. These are the conversations that we have constantly, and our listeners, regardless of age, will deeply benefit from us doing this book together, whatever that ends up looking like.
I love it. Yep. Stay tuned for all the exact details, the when, the where, the how. But it is called Untangle Your Emotions, Naming What You Feel and Knowing What to Do About It. And we have talked about that with therapists who have come on the podcast. We have talked about that among ourselves, I don't know how many times.
Yeah.
So it's so fun to see the idea of us doing this book club with the book that like you said, I mean, this is very familiar territory for us. And I just looked it up this morning, and some of the reviews say it's worth thousands of dollars of counseling. It's a revolutionary path to embracing a healthy relationship with your emotions, one that leads to life-giving connection with God and others, as well as a richer understanding of yourself.
I'm telling you, again, I'm only 2 to 3 chapters in, and I'm already thinking, oh my word, we will have so much to talk about.
I'm excited. It says, have you ever heard yourself say, don't let your emotions get the best of you? And that's all of us. But what if instead of letting our emotions get the best of us, instead of ignoring our feelings, what if we notice them, name them, and let God use them to draw us closer to himself and others? So,
And I'm not prepared to talk about this, but I'm going to say just enough, and forgive me if it's incorrect. But the most recent chapter I was listening to, you know how scripture tells us to, your heart is deceitful and to guard and protect your heart. However, our heart is where all of our emotions are coming from, and God has emotions. He experienced emotions. He experienced feelings. And so in this particular chapter, she helps you navigate, like, you have to understand you've got feelings and emotions, and we just need to be more careful and understand scripture better, so that we're not misusing and teaching people to not listen to your feelings.
Right.
Because your feelings, God gave them to you, and we need to name them and understand what they are and what am I supposed to do with it.
I love that. It's like I can picture this like filter. Just take it all and filter it through his best for us. And that's the final thing I wanted to say about it is she says feelings aren't something to fix, they are something to feel.
Yeah, that's right.
And then with the help of the Lord,
Yes.
how do we move through that?
Right.
What does that look like?
Yeah, it's going to be phenomenal.
Yeah, it's so exciting.
Yeah, we'll get it figured out, the
Oh, yeah.
logistical piece and what that looks like, and just keep you all updated. But it's not coming in the next 2 weeks, so don't worry about that.
No.
We'll give you plenty of heads up.
But if you want to go ahead and order it or
Yeah.
listen on Audible, that's still my favorite thing to do in the car. So,
Okay.
all
All right, everybody. Are we done, Angela?
I think so.
Okay, well, this has been so fun. I hope and pray that everybody has a super great week, and we're just so thankful for you. And as always, thanks for listening. We'll see you next time. Goodbye, everybody.